Hello. Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to the Road to 100, where we are in the Ashen Cavern today. And what we are going to go for here from the title, as you can see, is we are going to be having ice on our defenses, and on our blood veil, and on our weapon. And we are going to have blood on our buffs here as well. So currently the Sunset Bayonet is the lightest bayonet in the game, and that means that it has the highest damage to weight ratio in the game. And this is a very interesting bayonet because it can get down to 6.4 pounds. And as you see there, it can have 831 damage because of bayonet, excuse me, bayonet mastery. But we're going to be going for the ice version because in the cavern here, everybody's weak to blood and ice. And on our bayonet here, the Sunset Bayonet has Slash and Pierce, which are both really good damage types versus the enemies through here. But the real star of the show here is going to be our bayonet, or our blood veil, and we'll see just how good this setup can kind of be, even just for backstabs and as well as damage. So there's 7239 and 1132 or something. Okay, and we can go ahead and damage folks. And as we jump backwards, because this bayonet has an animation ender, it's pretty bad for that because you only get 3 attacks, and then you have to do a restand and a reset before you get into another string of attacks. So that's why we kind of rely on the blood veil to take a whole bunch of hits while we go through here. Now, because we have White Mia and we have Hasten, we can go for an extremely long duration here on our gifts, so 2.25 times the time duration. Okay, and if we go for some attacks here, we can see that we have the ability to kind of end folks pretty quick. So our string has 4 attacks. Sorry about that. And so if we go for blood now, now we have blood and ice on our weapon. So we'll let this fella figure that he's gonna do something. And there's 12,000 damage almost, very very quickly. So let's go for a backstab on her, and then we'll run oh, I forget the name here. Whoops. Okay. This fella is getting out of hand, but the circulating pulse we're gonna run on somebody just to see what kind of damage we can get. Alright, and let's go for cleansing light. And as you see there, we only have 3 ichor, and because circulating pulse only requires 3 ichor, it makes for a really cheap and useful gift to go about damaging enemies. Ouch. And as you see there, we can take the damage very well from one of these ladies. We only lost about 300 health, but because we have what is that? Regenerative drain, we can get all our health back very quickly and easily. And because we can tank a lot of the hits, we can go ahead and get damage out while at the same time recovering health and getting a lot of attacks off because of circulating pulse, and because Mia is always going to be casting gift extension for most of the time, we are able to get a whole lot of damage out on folks while at the same time always being quick mobility for the most part. Okay, and you can see there that we have really limited close range. Okay, and let's go for a launch here while we can. And you can see there our backstabs and our launches are very good, and they do quite a bit of damage. Okay, let's go for a backstab on her because we need a bunch of ichor here to get all our gifts going again. And you see that we lost Hasten, so we can go for a gift or a mobility enhancer, and that's fine if we take the hit. We'll go for a little bit of health there. We'll go for some more health there. And as you can see, because our veil is ice damage,
That was easier than I expected.
sure it was. Because our veil is ice damage, we do a huge amount of damage to everybody. Okay, so let's get this guy to come over here without the slimes. Yeah, nice try there, buddy. And so you can see that the Sunset Bayonet, for what it is and the amount of damage that it puts out, it can definitely hold its own. But it's not, you know, something you're going to want to always go for, just because of the fact that it is, you know, a very, very small bayonet. But the fact that it has this immense damage to weight ratio, I mean, we have really good defenses here right now because of the Blood Veil, while at the same time we have really good damage on our weapon, and at the same time we can take a whole bunch of hits and we can get health back and everything. And because we have this immense amount of resistance on our Blood Veil, we can stay in the fight a long time. And you can see that Bridge to Glory just ended as our first time of it ending, and we haven't even really broken a sweat yet. Now we do need a whole bunch of Ichor here, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and go for a bunch of backstabs here while we can, to regenerate as much of that Ichor as we can before we get to some different areas. Now the great thing about this setup is that if you want damage, just straight up damage, you can go for the backstabs and almost basically one-shot all these folks with really good success through here. Oh, and as you see there, we can take these hits very easily and well. And let's go for some health here while we can. And so we only lost about 1100 health there, or about 1000 health. So not too big of a deal at all. And as we can head across the bridge here and go for some extra health from this lady. And you're right, it's narrow, but it's not too narrow to fight on. And as you see there, we do a really healthy amount of damage to her. Even though if we get attacked, we can still do really good damage against her. And we didn't lose that much health there at all. And we still have our 10 heals available. And running into the invasion here, it will be important to have as much Ichor as possible to get all of our gifts running from the outset here. So you can see that the running in tandem here, with the bayonet is not really the star of the show, but it's more of the Blood Veil that we can use while at the same time having a weapon. But you can see the very short range there of the bayonet. You have to pretty much be right on top of the enemy, but as soon as you do get on top of them, you have really good damage from the Blood Veil, while at the same time you can kind of swing through the enemy because you have really good damage that you can put out on the enemy kind of whenever you want, however you want. So it's really good in that way. And if we go here, we can go ahead and get some health back there. And we'll go for this fella. And we'll go ahead and get some health back there. We got all our health back. Ouch. No, don't kill it. Okay. I guess she went ahead and killed it. That's fine. And we'll go for a mobility enhancer to get us at least on top of it here before the invasion starts. So we can have quick mobility, and then at the same time we can go ahead and put these folks down pretty quickly here. Okay, so she's going to do that. There we go. And you can see there that taking the hit there definitely didn't matter at all, as we only lost about 100 health, 150 health there, so that's not a big issue. Okay, and let's go ahead and just go for some attacks here. Okay, and we got all kinds of folks here. Let's go for hasten, and then we'll go for we'll go for a backstab. Now you'll notice that the backstabs are kind of the star of the show here, but that's okay. And you can see there that even if we go for just straight up attacks, oh, good job, Mia. There's nobody else here because we pushed the spawn point back. but we do have pretty good damage here overall. Ouch. And it doesn't even matter if we're doing if we are doing regular attacks or not, or if we're doing backstabs, because we have health regen, while at the same time we have really good damage on backstabs and everything else, and paired up with our attacks here and everything, we do really good damage. And oh, this guy's here, so definitely he is priority number 1. Okay. And he, because we're going to be doing ice damage versus him on our backstab and everything, we can kind of put him down pretty quick here. There we go, and he's gone. So that's the end of the invasion. So I don't know if you've seen most of the invasions that we've done through here in the past, but it usually doesn't go that simple and relaxed. I mean, I'm not nervous at all. I'm not even like quivering or anything, because it is literally this simple to kind of just push the button and go. And this setup has tons of utility built into it because we have such a light blood veil, or sorry, we have a light gun, and so we are able to kind of do whatever we want whenever we want here with this setup. And the problem will come with the hunter though. Because he hits very hard, and as you see there, we do have really good damage overall against the enemy here. I guess we can just go for some attacks, and there we go. And this stupid shooter behind me here is killing me for whatever reason. But you see that we're only down a couple hundred HP there, even though we should be kind of taking a lot of damage here. But we're just not, because we have such high defense overall, and at the same time we can take huge amounts of damage, and then we can also dish out a pretty good amount of damage. But the majority of our damage does come from backstabs and stuff. But at the same time, we're able to, you know, put these guys down pretty quickly. And getting the restands and everything is very good. And also because we have the ability to get the restands, we can get a whole bunch of I-Core back kind of whenever we want. And even if we have normal or quick mobility here, based on what we're doing, we're able to, okay, somehow I wasn't able to attack her. Okay, so that is kind of the problem with this setup is, again, the Sunset Bayonet has a very short range for its attack pattern, but the fact that it does have a 4-string attack pattern before it goes into the retreat restand, it's pretty good. But I wouldn't really say that the Sunset Bayonet is top tier by any means, but the damage to weight ratio is great because we are at 96 weight on a 101 blood code, so anything about 100 pounds or up, you can have really good damage overall here during using this setup. And as we head on in here, we'll change this to ice, and we'll go for a gift accelerator, so that way we can have very fast circulating pulse come out. And this fella, because, whoops, okay, so there you see that we just took that hit, no problem. Ouch, and we took that hit, kind of no problem. And we can, if we can go for an attack here and not get hit, we can go for some health back. There we go. And because we're doing ice damage, we're able to do pretty good damage there against him. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. Alright. Oh, we missed. And that's the nice thing about this circulating pulse is that it has a very small amount of ichor cost. Okay. And let's go for some more health back here. Ouch. Ouch. Thanks, Mia. Okay. Ow. Ouch. Oops, he's gonna back up. So we'll back up. Okay. Well, we're gonna pay for it. Or Mia's gonna pay for it. Somebody's gonna pay for it. Oh, come on. Ouch. Okay, good. So we can go for some health here. And then we'll go for a circulating pulse. Okay, now we're gonna need some stamina. Let's go for some health. Okay. There we go. We'll go for some ice. Okay. Now we'll have to go through a second round here. Oh. Ouch. Okay, and we'll just end him there. Okay, so you can see that the Blood Veil definitely plays a big role here, but that's kind of the whole point of the setup, is the fact that you can take a lot of punishment, a lot of damage, while at the same time having pretty good damage that you can put out on the enemy, just because of the fact that you have a very high damage to weight ratio. And since you can take a lot of those damage points at weird, strange, different times, you can still put out a really good amount of damage from a very low kind of damage weapon. But because it plays to the most of the weaknesses of the area, it's a fairly calm and collected and cool way to kind of just go through the Ashen Cavern, as it really doesn't lend itself to too much stress or too many issues here that you have to worry about or deal with. Now, you do notice that in the bottom bar, I did bring along anti-inhibits, and that's just in the event that during something like one of the invasions there, we take a bunch of hits or something. Okay, and now to see here,
Thanks.
you can get to 56 ichor pretty quick on volley, and if we go for ice, you'll see that this damage set is good for any of these folks, and you can see there we're doing about 2,000 damage per strike, which is really good, and we can take these folks down really quick. But as a gun, this thing does very slow moving bullets and very bad damage on volley. But if you were to run this on a different blood code, you could do pretty decent damage in bullets. But it's just like any other blood code or any other weapon or bayonet, that it scales off of willpower. But this one, as you see, it has a willpower scaling of E and a mind of D. So you do get more benefit on your shots out of mind for this one than out of willpower. So they kind of even out. But it does scale with Dex, and as you notice here, Volley has an S+ in Dex, and we have Mind and Willpowers up quite a bit here to get Gift Accelerator, Gift Prowess, and a whole bunch of things here to go for the damage. And as you see here, we just don't even care about this guy hitting us because our balance is really high. And as you see there, we just kind of run through these guys pretty quick. And the damage set out of the Sunset Bayonet is not too incredible or crazy. It's just has to do with the fact that this thing is very light, and we can get normal, and then we can get quick mobility because of hasten or a mobility enhancer for a very long time, because it is a pretty long cooldown. But it is a very long duration as well, and then having a 2.25 times increase in our length of duration is very nice. So as you can see, we've killed almost everybody through here, and there's nothing
I
left to
don't
do,
think
and
we've opened
we
this
didn't
yet.
even use one heal as we went through here, and we are only down about 500 health from the entire run, invasion and all, and even going off the beaten path at a little bit at different areas. But and we're only getting 430 from the GXL Defender for our light from Bridge to Glory added to the bayonet. So at 802, so we should be at 1232 or so if we run Bridge. And there we go. Yeah, about 430. About 431. Now, if you wanted to, you could go for the Daybreak Thunderfang and increase the Sunset Bayonet even more to 1628, which would be great. You would get a whole lot more damage out of it. But here on the Backstab, you would be getting a lot less than the GXL Defender. So here we're at 1115 with the Daybreak Thunderfang, and if we switch to the GXL Defender, we get 1462, which is where you saw a huge amount of our damage was coming from on backstabs from those folks. And if you were interested in going for more damage on the Sunset Bayonet, then go for the Daybreak Thunderfang. But if you don't have the DLC and you just have the base game, then you can go for the GXL Defender and fortify it or transform it with a Pheon Chrome and get the Sunset Bayonet. Now the Sunset Bayonet, you get that like in the first level of the game, second level of the game. It's very, very common. You can pick it up almost anywhere where there's Lost with bayonets, and it's very, very easy to come by. And if you're looking for a very, very light weapon that can work with almost any blood veil, or sorry, any blood code in the game, because it has a dex and willpower of D, which every blood code, if I remember right, has that ability. So a dex and a willpower of D. So yeah, everything. I mean, even something like Pollux could make use of it, but it wouldn't be very good because it scales off of dex for the physical attacks. So you want something with high dex. As you can see there, even Achilles could use it, which would be really nice for that. And you can see there our drain attack would go way high with the GXL Defender. So if we would do something like this, this thing goes up to almost 2,000 on a backstab, so which is really, really, really high. And something like the Graceful Prominence is the only blood veil that would be rivaling it. As you can see here, the Silver Garb goes way down; it's way below 2,000. And something like the GXM Exceed or the GXM variant, whatever, 1378, pretty low. Something like the Dawn Claw, that is a very good value there of 2062, but look at the defenses versus the GXL Defender. So 44, 36, 43, and it's like 16 higher on most of the stats there for about the same amount of backstab potential, so very good there. And then the Festive Thorn or Dawn Thorn, 1558, pretty bad. And then the Bewitching Thorn from DLC 2 could be something that you could go for as well, and it keeps you in the quick mobility range to use the Sunset Bayonet, while at the same time having pretty bad to average defenses. So anyways, that's been the Sunset Bayonet. I definitely would say pick one up if you're looking for a light weapon that you can pair up into almost any blood code or you can pair into any blood code in the game, and anything and everything works with it, because nothing has lower than a D dex and a D willpower, and so you can use it with anything and everything. Even Queen's Throat, which would be, not the best, but because it's quick mobility, you can pair it with a really heavy. You can pair it with a really heavy blood code if you need, or a blood veil if you need to. Something like even the Suicide Spur that could be used with it. I mean, you can see here this veil is 48 pounds, and we're still quick mobility, and we still have 5 more pounds, or sorry, 7 more pounds. So we can go up to a 55 weight value, and so we can pick up we can almost, yeah, we could even pick up a black vestment or a white, crimson vestment, white vestment, whatever you want to call it, and you can have pretty good damage, and you can have pretty good stats overall. Can't pick up any of these veils. Yeah, here's one 51.7, so, and that's fortified even, so you would have pretty good defenses overall on this guy, except for Crush. And this is the one of the first blood veils in the game that you come across, but you can still be quick mobility with it, even though it's pretty heavy. And the Sub-Zero Shroud is really heavy. Oh, this is almost there, but we can still be normal mobility. The Raven Fatigues for sure, you can use that fortified. That would be fine. And it's a pretty average dark veil. And look at that, we can use the Queenslayer Claw, and that is 55 pounds exactly. So we could use this and have pretty balanced stats across the board. Nothing great, nothing extreme, but we can still be quick mobility with it. We can use the Black Blood Liberator if we need to go for that extreme Ichor resist pull here at 9. Yeah, so the Sunset Bayonet can go down to 6.4 pounds even if you need a little bit more damage out of it, and you can see that it doesn't lose too much of its stats. And at a 9.2 at its heaviest, it still is a really good option overall for a bayonet. So, anyways, that's been the Sunset Bayonet. I would say definitely get one and outfit it in a way that the elements work in your favor for whatever area you're in. So, anyways, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.